Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Sunday Sweat Club Mother's Day edition. As I just said to our other group, happy Mother's Day to all the moms. You are fantastic. I'm so glad you're taking time for yourself. Today is about you. So if you decide that you want to lay in Shavasana the entire class and you just lay there and listen to me yammer on, that's like totally fine. Do what works for you, what makes you happy, and what feels good in your body. On that note, we'll get started in Shavasana. So come and lay down. Take up some space on your mat. I always say as women, we're often told not to take up too much space, right? Be small, be dainty, but no, we're gonna be big. So in Shavasana, take your legs wider than normal. Take your palms out to the side. Just make room for yourself to be comfortable. And then rock your head left and right. Move your hips a little. Ensure you're not clenching on in your glutes. Shimmy your shoulders. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, sigh it out, and relax. Close your mouth. Bring your awareness to the flow of air coming around your nostrils. Maybe you can feel it on the edge of the nostrils. Just focus on that sensation as you gently breathe in and out. No rush. If your mind starts to wander, bring it back, the single pointed focus. And then take your awareness from the breath to your energetic body. What does that mean, right? That sounds super hippie. What I mean is not just your energy, how much energy you have, whether you're awake or tired, but it's the energy that you create by watching TV shows, listening to music, hanging out with people, spending time outside. All of this collectively contributes to your energetic body. And a big part of this, especially for mothers, women in general, are we're often caretakers. We spend a lot of time giving to others, which I think is fantastic, right? I love giving as much as the next person. But as you check on your energy, I'd like you to compare your balance between your giving and your receiving. Not necessarily from other people, but just from self care. How much love, time, effort right now do you give to yourself versus to everyone else? No wrong answers. It only is what it is, right? With that in mind, today's class is all about you. Whether you are a man or a woman or somewhere in between, I want you to devote this class to yourself, a gift to you and who you are. So as you inhale, fill up your diaphragm. Imagine yourself inhaling new energy, new joy, and then exhale, sigh it out. Again, inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. Close your mouth Inhale as deeply as you can. And then once you think you've taken all the breath that you can, try to take a little bit more. Sip more air, more air. Feel your lungs expand, the diaphragm expands. And then exhale slowly out the nose. Inhale on my count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take 3 more, just like this. Count in your head. Do what feels natural to you. Maybe the breath is a little longer or a little shorter. And then if you know Ujjayi breath, you can start to constrict the back of your throat, building fire tapas with that constriction. Or you can just maintain this pattern of breath throughout class. When things get challenging, a little hard, come back to the breath. Pranayama, breath is yoga. You could lay here and you're doing yoga. Just breathe. On your next inhale, shimmy your legs together, ankles come together, flip your palms down onto the mat. Then push your low back into the mat, pull your core in. As you inhale, draw your knees up into your chest, maybe one at a time or two, and then wrap your arms around your shins. Normally, I have us do no hands, but today I want you to give yourself a hug and a squeeze, rock side to side, pushing the low back down to the mat, rolling left and rolling right. Breath in. Exhale, release your hands down by your sides, but keep your knees where they are. Flex your feet. See how close you can get your knees to your collarbones. And I say that as, your knees aren't going to come to your collarbones, but the idea is that you pull in so much so your hip flexors start to work. Inhale. Exhale, lower the hips down or the feet down hip width distance apart. Wiggle your feet back towards your hips and then inhale, press them up into a baby bridge pose. So first bridge of class, think about your hip flexors pushing up to the ceiling, the exact opposite action of what we just did, trying to lengthen. Inhale. Exhale, walk your vertebra down the mat one at a time. And then release at the bottom. Again, inhale, lift the hips up, baby bridge. Maybe close the eyes and imagine each vertebra lowering one by one by one until the last thing to come to the mat is the sacrum, the spinal segmentation. One more time. Inhale, lift the hips up, squeeze. And then exhale, lower. One vertebra at a time. Squeeze the glutes on the way down. Inhale. Exhale, release at the bottom and relax. Take a breath in, switch your weight over into your left foot, reach your right foot up to the ceiling, curl your toes back towards your face, push your low back down to the mat. So low back is going to stay connected this entire time. If it starts to creep up, push it back down. Now, inhale once more here. And then as you exhale, externally rotate the thigh. So if you look at your thigh will roll out, but the foot will stay in line with the knee and the hip. So we haven't moved the foot out of alignment. One more full cycle of breath, stretching, pushing the heel up, and then exhale, bring the ankle to the top of the left knee, coming to a figure 4 posture. Push your right knee down so you feel the knee and the hips start to open. Think external rotation in that thigh. Option to stay here as you flex through the right foot or draw the left knee up into the chest. Hands are planted down. Remember, low back stays into the mat. So we've got a tug of war. Right knee pushes out, left knee pulls in, right ankle pushes onto the top knee. This is one of my favorite stretches, and in yoga, we often take it with our hands, right? But I love the active version. If you're craving the passive version today, you can do it by bringing the hands in and pulling, but try it without first and see how close you can get the knee. But don't forget to keep pushing in the right leg for 3, 2, and then 1. If the foot on the left side is up, release it down. Inhale, right foot high, unravel. Exhale, right foot comes to the ground. Moving on to the other side. Inhale, left foot up. So first we find this engagement, low back to the mat. Feel the lengthening of the back of the leg. Push your heel up towards the sky. Toes are curling back towards your shin so much you should feel these muscles on the front of your shin fire up. Take a full cycle of breath here. And then externally rotate the thigh. So the thigh just rolls out, foot still in line with the knee and the hip. One more inhale. And exhale, release, ankle on top of that knee. Push the left knee down. We've got our figure 4 stretch. Option to stay here or pushing the low back down, draw the right knee up in towards the chest. Now take a look at your left knee. If you see it falling in, remember, we have to maintain the push of not only the knee, but the ankle on that left side. And then right knee squeezes in. How tight can you get it in? Think about stretching while you engage your glute. The goal is not just to build flexibility, but strength. And we're doing it by holding here. Inhale. Exhale. Again, inhale. How much can you push? Exhale. One more. Breath in here. Exhale, release your right foot down to the ground. Inhale, left foot up. Internally rotate. And then exhale, lower the foot down to the ground. Inhale, bridge pose. Round, what is this? Like 3 of bridge. Maybe you want to clasp your hands this time and start to create a little bit of a shelf, lengthening through not just the low back, but also think about pushing your chest up and over your head. So it's not just the lumbar spine. We work our way all the way up and then continue to breathe in and out. We hold another breath in and out. Last time, inhale. And then release your hands if you have them. Exhale, 1 vertebra at a time down to the mat. Draw both knees into the chest, hands come behind the thighs, and rock and roll yourself up to a seat. But you know me, we're gonna do like, I don't know, 5 rock and rolls because it's super fun, that's why. So think about rounding the spine, hitting every vertebra once again. The goal, the long-term goal is to create spinal segmentation so you can actually bend from different parts of your spine in a way that seems almost easy to you. So let's do one more. And then come on up, pop up into Navasana pose. Feet can be extended out in front of you. I'm gonna take my socks off because I'm gonna slip. Or toes to the ground. So option there. Or here, hands behind the thighs. Now, instead of rounding through the back, chest comes forward and up. Squeeze your scapula together, point the toes. Maybe reach the hands. Breath in. And out. Another inhale, push the chest up and out. Last inhale here. Exhale, feet comes to the ground. Now, option, we're moving to tabletop pose. My new option is to try to get to tabletop with no hands. So maybe you clasp the hands together, try to shimmy the feet around. Can you wiggle up onto the knees? Find yourself somewhere in the center of the mat, right? And then wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Now you're in your cat and cow. If you didn't do it without your hands, don't worry. One of these times you might be like, yes, I found it. Close your eyes, drop your belly, roll your shoulders back. Cow pose. Exhale, round cat. Option to take this like a wave where you move from your tailbone first. Continue with the breath, cat and cow, in a way that works for you. You can add in side to side movement. I want you to ask your body, what do you need? What feels good as I move my spine? Inhale back to center. And then walk your knees together. So hands are apart, knees are together. If you start to feel too much pressure on the wrists, you can make the angle less. So look at me, wrists aren't under the shoulders, they're forward a bit more. Or you can even punch fists to the ground. Try this with me first. Shift your weight over into your right leg. Extend your left foot back. Toes can be on the ground to start, or maybe you lift. Now pull your belly up and in as you lengthen through the leg. And then exhale, foot comes up towards the ceiling. So if you look at me, I've got about a 90-degree bend, and naturally I want to dip into my back, but instead I'm going to pull in, take the dip out of the back as I push the foot up towards the ceiling. Breath in and out. Another inhale, starting slow. We got nowhere to be. Exhale. One more. Breath in. Exhale, we externally rotate the thigh and then bring the left knee towards the left elbow. Hug it here. Inhale. Exhale, step it to the outside of the hand, low lunge, and scoot your back leg backwards so you get a nice big stretch on that front or that right hip flexor. So now we're in a nice little lizard lunge. We got there magically. Sink the hips down. Pull your chest forward. So squeeze the scapula together. Breath in and out. Another breath in and out. Last time, inhale. Curl your back toe under, lift your back knee up as you exhale and hold. Same thing, but we're going to fire up now. Pull your left hip backwards, right hip flexor forwards as you push the right hip flexor down, still bringing the heart through the hands. Inhale. Exhale. If you'd like to work harder, just pull harder. That's the secret. If you'd like to work less, just pull less. One more cycle of breath in. And then exhale, release the back knee down, untuck the toe, slide it forwards. You actually might have to tuck the toe to slide it. And then we find our 90-degree bend, just like we had before. Take an inhale, try to connect your knee to your tricep, maybe lift the left foot first, and then come back, tabletop pose. Breath in and out. All right, inhale. Right leg comes back. Option to have the toe to the ground to start. Remember, you're building your own adventure, or reach the foot long. Try to take the bend out of the back by tucking your belly button in. Pull into the core. Breath in. And then exhale, foot goes up to the ceiling. Maintain this 90-degree bend. We have 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Another. Breath in. And out. Last time. Inhale here. And then exhale, bring your right knee to your right tricep. Hold, take a breath in, and step it to the outside of your right hand. Shift your left leg backwards, come into a nice big hip flexor stretch. Inhale. Maybe you close your eyes as you exhale and tell this hip flexor to release. So we have a little system in our body that essentially protects us, right? When we try to get into a really deep stretch really fast, it goes, oh no, that's your regulator. I'm not going to let you go there. But once you start to relax, you find you have more flexibility. Breath in and out. All right, curl the back toe under, lift the back leg up. Now pull your right hip and your right foot backwards, your left hip and your left hip flexor down and forwards. The more you pull, the more you work. Once more, if you find this easy, just pull a little bit harder. And then like me, it'll be like impossible to talk. I don't know why I feel like I have to demo these things when I say them to you, because as soon as I do, I'm like, oh, I can't talk now. So if I'm doing it, you can do it too, right? Breath in and out. Inhale. Exhale, lower the back knee down, wiggle it forward so the knee is under the hip. Now connect your knee to your tricep. Try to lift the foot first and then come back, tabletop. Walk your hands one handprint forward, curl your toes under and walk yourself back into broken toe pose. Everybody's favorite pose. How can it not be? Shake your wrists out. Giving ourselves a little break before we move into down dog. Option to be here, option to be here. Ideally, the bottom of the feet try to open for 3, 2, and then 1. Back to center. Hands forward, curl your toes up and back, downward facing dog. Breath in and out. All right, speeding things up a little bit. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, bend into your knees, push your butt back, and then sink your heels back down. Down dog. Inhale, look forward again. Lift your heels, bend into your knees. And then as you exhale, drop your head, sink your heels back, downward facing dog. One more time. Inhale, look forward, bend into your knees, tilt your tailbone to the sky, then drop your head, sink your heels down, downward facing dog. All right, this time we mean it. Lift your heels, look forward, take a breath in, walk yourself 1 toe print at a time to the top of the mat and fold into Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, butt back, arms wide. Come to chair pose. Breath in. Exhale, hands by your side, Tadasana. Sun A variation. Inhale, sweep the hands up, look up. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, butt back, arms wide. Push yourself all the way through chair. Come to standing, look high. Press the palms above your head and then exhale, hands to heart center. Hands by your sides, Tadasana. Again, inhale, sweep the hands up, look up. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, squeeze the scapula. Exhale, bend in your knees, plant your hands and step yourself back to either plank or tabletop pose. Reminder, you can always do tabletop. We are lowering down to the ground nice and slow. 3, hug the elbows in, 2, and then 1. Untuck the toes, inhale up, baby cobra. Hover your hands, hug your elbows together. Exhale, hold and stay here. Don't lower. I know you want to, but don't. Inhale, lift. Exhale, stay. Woof, one more time. Inhale, lift, press into the feet. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up. Slide your hands forward and come to Sphinx pose. So elbows are a bit past the shoulders. Pull your chest through your biceps as you open the throat slightly. Maybe you gaze at the tip of your nose. Press the tops of your feet into the mat. Inhale. Exhale. Another breath in. Exhale, release the forehead down to the mat. Slide your hands back to your plank or tabletop prep. Curl your toes under. Slowly push yourself up and back, downward facing dog. Breath in and out. Inhale your right leg high. Pull your left hip back in space. So we like to close the hip, right? Naturally, it feels good to open it, close it. Push your hands into the mat. Take another breath in. And then as you exhale, just like we did on the ground, bring your right knee to your right tricep. Hold here, breath in. Exhale back, 3-legged dog. Inhale. Exhale, sweep your knee to your forehead and then try to lean your shoulders past your hands as far as they can get and step through low lunge. Maybe move the back leg backwards a little bit and then inhale, come up, crescent pose. First crescent of the day. Pull the right hip back in space, just like we did on the ground in the little warm up. Pull the right hip back, left hip flexor forward. Inhale the hands up. Either stay here or option to bring the hands behind the back, fingertips together, hug the elbows in. Almost like you're trying to push your hips down, but by the same motion, push your chest up. Open the throat, maybe challenge yourself by gazing high, straight through the back leg. Breath in. and out. Another breath in. Serene face, right? And out. Last time, inhale. Exhale, take the bend out of your back, drop your hands by your sides. Inhale up, crescent pose. And then exhale, sweep your hands down to the ground. Option to wiggle your right foot over to the right and have your hands in the center. You can press up and back to downward facing dog, or what we've been working on, connect your knee to your tricep, lift the foot first, and then exhale back, down dog. Breath in and out. Inhale your left leg high. Pull your right hip back in space. We close the hip as you reach. Push your hands into the mat. Take another full cycle of breath, stretching through the right hamstring. Inhale. Exhale, left knee, left tricep. We hold for a breath in. Exhale back, three-legged dog. Inhale. Exhale, knee to forehead. Lean your shoulders past your wrists as far as you can, and then step through. Low lunge. You might need to widen the legs a little bit, and then inhale, come up, crescent pose. Pull the left hip back in space this time. Right hip flexor forward. Straight if you can through the back leg. It's welcome to be bent, but sometimes I try to cue the straightening because what happens is your quad turns on and it gives you more support in the posture. You'll also feel a deeper stretch in the hip flexor. Inhale the hands high. Exhale, sweep your hands down to your low back. Option to just stay with the hands up or come with me as we start to push the chest up to the ceiling and the hands into the low back. Then chances are you crept up a little bit. We all do, right? We start to straighten that leg. So drop the leg back down. Breath in and out. Another breath in and out. Last time. Inhale. Exhale back to center, hands by your sides. Inhale, sweep the palms up. And then exhale, hands come to the ground. Option to just step to down dog or wiggle your left foot over to the left. Connect your left knee to your left tricep. Maybe you can lift and then push up and back, downward facing dog. Breath in and out. Inhale, look forward, bend into your knees. Listen carefully as you exhale, step or hop your feet to the outside of your hands into a yogi squat. So there are different levels for all of us. I'm down here. I could probably hang out here for a long time because it's easy, right? So instead, because we all want to be having the same experience, everybody lift up. So if you're in the bottom of your yogi squat, come up so you're working a little bit harder. If you're up here, great. You might even be here. Push your hands into your knees into your hands. If you're down here, push your elbows into your elbows into your knees. Yeah, and I guess you could try to push your knees into your elbows. Yeah, that's it. Getting my anatomy mixed up here. Okay, I'm even cheating. I'm down too low. Push harder. We're almost there. 3, 2, and then 1. Lift your hips up. Exhale, forward fold. Walk your feet together, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Everybody take your hands to your shins, even if your fingers can reach the ground. Squeeze the scapula together. Lift your weight towards your toes and hover the heels for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, heels down and fold, Uttanasana. Take a big bend in your knees. Plant your hands on the ground. So if you have blocks, there's an option to have your hands on blocks. It might make this a little bit easier. Stretch your right foot back, but this time, rather than putting all the weight in the right foot, I want you to keep your weight in your left foot and try to lift the right foot up off the ground. You're just going to hold. Option 1, stay here and play with this lift. You could even be on support and do the same thing on a table, right? I want you to play with lifting the leg up and down. That's option 1. Remember, today's about giving yourself love. What do you want to do? What are you going to find fun? Option 2 is to hold here and then bring the right knee to the right tricep. Inhale, you'll lift back. Exhale, right knee to right tricep, or maybe the toe to the ground, right? We all move together. We're just moving. Inhale, right leg back. Exhale, step your feet together, and then straighten the legs and fold. Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Hands to shins. Rock your weight to your toes. Lift your heels. Exhale, heels down and fold. Bend in your knees. Shift your weight over into your right leg. Left leg comes back. Option to work here. You're going to just start lifting. Finding the lift and the engagement. Maybe you're here. Same thing. You could be on a table. You could be on a wall. Or come with me. Lift the leg. Inhale. Exhale, left knee, left tricep. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, left knee, left tricep. How high can you get it up on the leg? Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, left knee, left tricep, and then we extend, oh my gosh, feet together, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sit your butt back, take your arms up, chair pose, reach them high. And then today, knees together if you can, sliver space between your heels. Hug your knees together. They're not moving, right? They're stuck there. They're super glue. But try to push your legs away from one another. I know, confusing, right? Once you do this, you should start to feel all the muscles on the outside of your thighs, your glutes start to fire up. So lock the legs together, but push outward. Breath in. Sit deeper, breath out. Now let's do the opposite. Pull your legs in. Can you try to make all the muscles on the inside of your thigh fire up by pulling in as hard as you can? Breath in and out. Inhale, come to standing. Exhale, hands by your sides, Tadasana. Close your eyes. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, sweep your hands up. Look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, sit your butt back, and then inhale, chair pose one more time. I know you're like, Madison, why we just did this? It's fine. We're doing it again, but differently. So this time, pull in first, everything inward, get all these muscles to fire up. This is a shorter hold. You can do it. We're sharing energy right now. I'm sending you all the love. We can do it together. Breath in. And now push your legs away from each other, but don't let the knees separate. Hold and breathe. 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, come to standing. Exhale, hands to your hips. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Shift your weight over into your right leg. Inhale your left knee up to a 90-degree bend. So knee's gonna be about here. Find that bend. Inhale. And then externally rotate the thigh, just like we did before. The thigh will roll out, the knee will stay in line with the hip. Keep your hands on your hips. Start to push that knee out to the side as far as you can get it. Keep pushing, pushing, pushing. How far can you push? And then start to open the hip. We're traveling to a warrior two. You're going to step back very slowly. You might fall in and out, in and out. That's fine. We're playing, right? Take your time, step back into your warrior two, set up. Once you're there, arms long. Yes, you are a warrior. So in this posture, gaze off the front of your hand. Push your right knee out to the side. Look down. If your knee is past your ankle, that's fine, but we want it to be deeper. So sink down. If it goes past, just widen your stance until it can't go anymore. Now, because you're a warrior, feel the strength of your body. Pull your feet together. And then as you inhale, think, I am strong. And exhale, I can rest. That's our mantra. Inhale, I am strong. Exhale, I can rest. Again, inhale, I am strong. Exhale, I can rest. Don't come out. We're staying here for 9 years. One more breath in. I am strong. Exhale, I can rest. Not yet, though. You can rest in a second. Inhale, straighten your leg. Maybe continue the mantra, coming to a triangle pose. Bump your hip to the back of the room. Reach forward and then bring your hand to either the inside of the ankle, the calf, maybe even the thigh, right? Just find this big stretch. Look up at your hand. Inhale, I am strong. Exhale, I can rest. Again, inhale, I am strong. Push your feet away from one another now. Exhale, I can rest. Last time, inhale, I am strong. Exhale, bend in your knee. Inhale up, warrior two pose. And then exhale, sweep your hands down to the inside of your foot. Wiggle your right foot out to the side. Connect your knee to the tricep. Lift the foot. Step up and back, down dog. Breath in. And out. Inhale, look forward. Step or hop, top of the mat, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Again, inhale, half lift. Bring your hands to your shins. We're all together. Rock your weight toward your toes and try to lift your heels and hover. 3, 2, 1. Heels down, exhale, fold. Inhale, sit back, chair pose. Exhale, come to standing, hands by your sides, Tadasana. All right, our other leg, which I believe should be, is it all right? I hope you guys remember which leg. I think it's the left leg has the weight, right leg comes up. We're gonna try it. If it feels wrong, too bad. I'm pretty sure it's the right leg lifts. Externally rotate the thigh. Find that external rotation, like you're turning a dial, right? Just turning in the hip capsule, little by little. Flex through your foot, strong through your left leg. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, start to open the hip, open little by little, but don't turn the hips until you absolutely have to. How slow can you go, team? How slow can you go? Moving through honey to step back into your warrior two, and then set yourself up. Reach the arms long. Remember, we're here for a while, so I want you to feel like a warrior. Look down. Make sure your knee isn't going past your ankle. If it is, sink that bad boy lower, reach the foot further forward, then reach the hands long. Option to try pulling your feet together in this posture to see if you can deepen it. Breath in. I am strong. Look off your front hand. Exhale, I can rest. Breath in. I am strong. Exhale, I can rest. If you're like me, I creeped up a little, sink it back down, you're fine. Another, breath in. I am strong. Exhale, I can rest. Last time, inhale. I am strong. Exhale, I can rest. Okay, inhale, straighten the leg. Maybe make the stance a little less narrow. Bump your back hip to the back of the room. Inhale, tick-tock forward, our triangle pose. Reach the hand high, look up. Same thing, find your mantra. Inhale, I am strong. Try to push your feet away from each other. Exhale, I can rest. Inhale, I am strong. Exhale, I can rest. Again, inhale, I am strong. Exhale, I can rest. All right, then inhale, bend in your knee. Lift yourself up. I am strong, warrior two. Exhale, sweep the hands down from the inside of the foot. Wiggle the left foot out to the side. Connect the knee to the tricep, maybe. Lift the foot, and then exhale back, downward facing dog. Option to come to a child's pose, or you hold here in down dog. Breath in. Maybe you keep the mantra. Breath out. Can you find a rest in whatever posture you've chosen, even if it's down dog? Yogis always say down dog is the resting posture, and it is to some degree, but Find something that makes you feel restful. Because down dog is also a lot of work. Take 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, look forward, bend in your knees, and then walk 1 toe print at a time to the top of the mat. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank pose, and we lower down slow. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, a back bend of your choice, completely up to you. And then exhale, lower. Curl your toes under, hug your elbows in, press yourself up slow, plank to tabletop, and then lower your knees down to the mat. Curl your toes under, broken toe pose one more time. So while you're in broken toe pose, I want you to watch my arms. When I'm in plank pose, my arms are straight and I'm pushing. If you look at me, I'm pushing through the upper spine. My spine isn't dropped, my belly isn't round. For plank, I'm engaged. That is the action that we're going to want today. So take one more breath in your broken toe pose. And then exhale, come forward, hands on the ground, round through your upper spine. I want you to push the ground away from you. Push, push, push the ground away from you. Pull your belly button in and up. Breath in. Exhale, release. Walk your hands 1 handprint forward, curl your toes under, push up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg high, pull your left hip back in space. Exhale, right knee, right tricep. Option to skip these, remember, and you can just keep the right leg high. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, right knee, left tricep. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, knee to forehead, lean your shoulders past your wrists and then step through. Maybe you take your foot or your hand to your foot to step it forward a little bit more. Low lunge. Inhale up, crescent pose. Exhale, hands come to the low back, taking a little back bend one more time in our crescent. Sink down into the knee. Breath in. And out. Another inhale. Exhale. Last time, inhale to center. Exhale, release your hands down by your sides. Inhale, sweep the hands up, look up. Exhale, your hands come to the inside of the foot. Wiggle your right foot out to the side. Shift your weight over into your left hand and then inhale your right hand high. Take a twist. Option to have the back knee down as we twist. That feels really nice, I'm going to admit. Remember, you can rest. So if you want, take the back knee down. What is your body asking for today? Breath in. And out. Another breath in. And out. Last time. Here we go. Inhale. Exhale, sweep the right hand to the inside of the right foot. Option 1, down dog. You know how to do it. Or lift the knee or lift the foot, connect that knee to the tricep, and then push up and back, down dog. Breath in. And out. Inhale the left leg high. Pull your right hip back in space. Exhale, left knee, left tricep. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, left knee, right tricep. Inhale, left leg high, reach. Exhale, knee to forehead, tuck, lean, 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 and step through. Maybe you take your hand to help you out, low lunge. Step your foot back and then inhale up, crescent pose. Pull the left hip backwards, right hip forwards, hand comes to the low back. Exhale. Inhale, push your chest up, and we stay for 3 breaths. Think about your lower body, how engaged you are in your right leg, stretching the right leg back, but also pushing the chest up to the ceiling. Using your core to support your back bend for 3, 2. Take an inhale. Exhale, hands by your sides. Inhale, sweep the hands up. Exhale, hands come to the inside of the foot. Wiggle that left foot out to the side. Shift your weight over into your right hand. And then inhale, twist. An invitation to rest by putting the back knee down as you twist. If not, keeping the knee up. Gaze at the top hand if that feels good. Breath in. Hand out. Another breath in. And out. Last time, inhale. Exhale, left hand to the inside of the foot. Option 1, down dog, you know it. Option 2, connect the knee to the tricep, push up and back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, forward plank pose. Knees up or knees down, lower 3, 2, 1. Untuck your toes, inhale up, maybe baby cobra, maybe full cobra, maybe up dog. Exhale, lower. Curl your toes under. Push yourself up to tabletop pose. Then walk your hands back. Come to a seat on your heels, broken toe pose. Once more, option to be here, option to be here. Breath in. And out. One more time. Inhale. And exhale, hands come forward. Almost there. Curl those toes under. Push up and back, down dog. Breath in. And out. Inhale, look forward, bend in your knees, hop or step your hands to the out or your feet to the outside of your hands. Once more, you can hop your hands, that'd be weird. And then everybody back up. Remember, we're doing round 2. This is it. And then we're going to move on to our closing posture. So push your knee into your tricep in your knee, or your hands, right? If you're here, you have this option. This is our tug of war. Squeeze up and in for 3. Don't let your butt fall down for 2. Yeah, you got it. Push, push, push. And then 1, hips up, fold forward, walk your feet together. Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, butt back, arms wide. Push yourself up to standing, look high. Exhale, hands by your side. Tadasana, close your eyes. Maybe take one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. You are strong and you can rest. Allow this to be a moment of rest. Breath in. And out. Drop your hands by your sides. Inhale, sweep up, look up. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back. This is the last time we're doing this. You can do this. Your arms are strong. Lower, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, back bend of your choice. Exhale, lower. Curl your toes under. Push yourself up to a tabletop pose. And then as you exhale, just walk your knees forward. Option, we're going to come to a seat on our butt. Can you do it without your hands? Maybe you try to lean back, lift, hold onto your hands so you can't cheat, shimmy. Push the butt down to the side. And remember, if you can't do it yet, don't worry, because one of these days you might be like, I got it. I figured out how. Okay. Once you're in a seat on your butt, reach the legs forward. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, forward fold. For today's purpose, if you cannot reach your feet, I want you to be somewhere on your leg that you're holding on. And instead of folding and rounding, try to pull yourself down like you're trying to push your chest to fold, or even your belly button to fold. So pull yourself in, but squeeze your scapula together and look forward. It's different than our normal forward fold. So find that engagement. Think about almost dropping the belly like you're in cow pose, right? Think cow pose in the spine as you pull. Breath in and out. Option, you might be here and you're just pulling here, right? Knees bent, but I want the arms pulling. So find that pull for 3 more breaths. Not worried about how low you go. I'm worried about the strength, right? That strength in our arms. 3, 2, 1. Release. Inhale, sit back up, staff pose. Hands by your sides. Roll the shoulders back. Breath in. And out. Okay. Lift your left foot up off the mat. If you can't do it from here, you're going to do it from here. So find where you can lift, then bend into the left knee. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Take your left hand and grab for the outside of your left foot. Option 1, you might just hang out here. We've got the foot to the hand to the foot. You might even have your hand on the outside of your calf or the thigh. Anywhere, right? Find a grab. Then start to work on straightening the leg any amount. If you can straighten the leg, try to point or flex the foot. I don't care which, but the idea is to pull back. So watch my shoulder. Pulling back as I retract my scapula will just automatically lift my leg. If you're here, pull back and work on straightening the leg and just play with straightening. So we're all in different levels, right? You might even be leaning here. Work on straightening. If your leg's up here, once more, hold. 3, 2, and then wherever you are, this is going to be funny, especially for me, because my leg is definitely going to fall. I want you to release your leg or your foot and try to keep it where it is. Yep. Okay. My leg's just going to slowly fall. That's all we got. Very gently bring your leg down to the ground and release. That's so hard. Okay. Switch it over to the opposite side. Option, remember, you could be here, here, or here. Find your version. Inhale, lift your right foot up. Then as you exhale, draw the knee up into your chest. Take your right hand high. And then exhale, reach through the inside of the knee. So look at my arm is on the inside. And grab for the outside of your foot. It's basically like a happy baby, but we're up. The shooting the arrow pose, right? Cupid's pose. Can grab for the ankle, grab for the thigh, or the hand can be in the outside behind the leg. You're working here, here, or maybe you work on straightening. Notice the difference once more. If you look at my shoulder, this is just me casually chilling. This is me pulling the scapula back. When I do this, it engages my core automatically. I'm retracting the scapula, lifting the leg higher. Hold, breath in and out. No matter where you are, you're just breathing and moving. Inhale. Exhale. One more, breath in. And then exhale. Okay, here we go. Try to keep your leg exactly where it is. Hold it and release. Lower very slow down to the ground. Yeah, with control. I'm pretending like it's controlled, but it's really just, it's just falling. Okay, relax down at the bottom. All right, this is it. And then we're laying down on the mat. A few options. Option 1, your full version of this posture is going to be Navasana, right? Except you're going to work on straightening and flexing. If you're here, you're going to work on 1 and 1, 1 and 1. Great. If you're in it, you can start there. Option 2 is going to be to grab a little bit higher. Watch my hands on the outside of my ankle, right? And try to straighten the legs a little bit on the outside of the calf. Maybe I'm here, trying to hold the legs back and retract. Option 3 is if you can grab your feet and get your feet straight, you'll push the feet to the sky, retract the scapula, flex or point, try to straighten through the legs. No matter what you're doing, think about shoving your chest up towards the ceiling. Maybe you can open the throat and drop the head back. You are building your own adventure here. Remember, you are strong and you can rest. If you come out, come back in. Try one more time. Give it a shot. Remember, I'm just making things up and we're just playing, right? You should feel like a little kid right now. Have fun. Breath in. And exhale. Okay, the part I don't want to do is we're going to try to release our hands and keep our feet where they are. Oh no, terrible idea. Worst idea ever. Slowly lower down. We're going to come all the way to our backs. Yep, little by little, and then release the feet. Oh, down to the ground. I want to say Shavasana, but we just can't go yet. We're not there. We're almost there. So reach your hands above your head. Take a big stretch. Left and right. You have been strong and you are strong. And now is our time to truly embrace guilt-free rest. A reminder that you can rest any time you want without guilt. You deserve it. Draw your right knee into your chest. Give it a squeeze. And then exhale, take the knee over to the left side. Easy twist. In this posture, I care more about your right shoulder being on the ground than your right knee touching the ground, because I want the twist to come from the spine, not just the hips. So glue that right shoulder down. Maybe take the gaze over to the right if it feels okay on the neck. And then start to surrender into the posture, even if you have to really feel like you support yourself. Maybe continue with the mantra as you inhale, I am strong. Exhale, I can rest. When you're ready, you feel like this side is complete, you can transition over to the other side. So draw your knee up into your chest. Swap the legs out and even the hips out in the middle, right? Just allow your hips to feel even. Left knee comes into the chest and then twist over to the right side. Maybe take your gaze to the right. Once more, left shoulder down to the mat. Where can you surrender? Where can you let go? If your mind wanders anywhere else, come back to your mantra, I am strong. I can rest. Next inhale. Come back to center. Unravel yourself and even the hips out on the mat. So normally I would take you through another pose or two to finish class, but because this class is really, I mean, like every class, but especially this one about you, I want you to end class in a way that feels good for you. So we have 2 minutes of free movement. And by movement, I mean you could also rest. Just listen to your body, and you don't have to do yoga poses. There's no right or wrong. There's only what feels good, what movement or lack thereof you would like to intuitively take to nurture yourself. So many times in life, we got caught up in the shoulds. The I should do this. I encourage you to forget about what you should do. What do you want to do? Have another 30 seconds or so of movement. I once cued this free movement, and I remember there was a woman who popped into Warrior Two, the strongest Warrior Two I've seen on both sides. And it was such a beautiful representation of why you can really do what you want to do. And she craved strength, right? She wanted to feel strong again. So in these last moments, what do you want? By all means, you can also shut me off and just do what you want. When you're ready, make your way down to the ground. Palms face up into your Shavasana. And once more, take up space. Make your legs wide, make your arms wide. Shut down your eyes, take a deep breath in. Open mouth exhale, let it go. Close your mouth and rest. You have the option to stay here in Shavasana for as long as you like. Please, if you are craving rest, rest. Otherwise, if you're ready to come out of the practice, you can gently reawaken your body with small movements, starting in the fingers, in the toes. Rock your head side to side. Wiggle your mouth, open your jaw. And then take a big morning stretch left and right. Eventually, you can draw one knee into the chest and then the other. Roll over onto your favorite side in fetal pose, using your arm as a pillow. And then press yourself up to a comfortable seat, facing any direction. And bring your palms over your heart today. So let's take both of our hands over our heart. Feel the warmth of your palms. As you inhale, roll your shoulders up to your ears. Exhale, slide them down your back. Inhale, I am strong. Exhale, I can rest. Gently blink your eyes open. Get reacquainted with the world around you. Thank you all. Fantastic work. As always, if you have any questions, I am here. Just reach out, send me an email, stay after class to chat. Otherwise, I will see you next week for the Sunday Sweat Club.